I want to start by saying a few words about the suicide crisis in this state. Over the course of 30 years of the Troubles in Northern Ireland, more than 3,500 people died. But here in this Republic, nearly 7,500 people have died in the first 15 years of this century from troubles of a different sort, from suicide. The vast majority of these suicides have resulted from a mental health crisis. Now, it is interesting to compare the political response to those two separate sets of troubles. The Northern Ireland Troubles were near the top of the political agenda, always. Taoiseach and ministers dedicated an enormous amount of time and resources to addressing the issue. But this other set of troubles, they're dealt with very differently, and nowhere is this better seen than in the area of the allocation of resources. Cathaoirleach, the budget for mental health services in this state between the years 2006 and 2016 have been cut from €937 million to, the Minister says, €827 million. What the Minister failed to say in his report was that the Fine Gael Labour Party government failed to bring mental health spending in this state even up to the paltry level that existed in 2006. The €35 million ring-fenced for increases in mental health spending were originally planned to be cut entirely from the 2016 budget. After the threat of a ministerial resignation, it was interesting the way the Minister talked about two ministers working together. There was a threat of a ministerial resignation. The money was restored in the run-in to a general election. But now, after the general election, more than a third of that money is being diverted to prop up other parts of our ailing health service. And what happens? What happens? The Minister is not sacked. The Minister does not resign. The Minister does not even stay in the House for the duration of this debate, let alone come into the House to apologise. And he should apologise. He should apologise to the families and the communities who are on the front line of this crisis, who see €15 million that was meant to be spent to assist them not being spent in the year 2016. And what the Minister should do, he should go on a trip. He should do a bit of travelling around the country. And he should meet some of the hundreds of community-based groups who've taken up the slack, who filled the gap, the huge gaping void that has been left in mental health services in this country by the failure of his party and the Fianna Fáil party here to prioritise this issue. The Minister should go to these people, many of them parents, brothers, sisters and friends of the people behind this country's suicide statistics. He should look them in the eye and he should explain to them, if he can, why he's making this scandalous decision. In conclusion, Cathaoirleach, like my colleague Deputy Gino Kenny, I want to comment briefly on the response of the Psychiatric Nurses Association. Deputy O'Quailon gave the information: 700 vacant posts in our mental health services, 1,000 vacancies, either current or emerging, for nurses. Is it any wonder that the trade union representing psychiatric nurses is considering industrial action? Cathaoirleach, Deputy O'Quailon has pointed out that the national executive of that union meets on May the 11th to consider balloting for industrial action, if they do decide to take this step, I believe that they will have the support of every family in this state who have been touched by this crisis, and I certainly believe that they should have and deserve the support of every person in this land who cares for equality, who cares for justice, and who cares for a decent society. Thank you.